Dear students, today the court observation of AC Law College students is firstly family courts, second labor courts, third one is pocso cases court. These three courts presiding officers are district and session judges only. They are discharging their duties in different acts. One is family acts, that is maintenance cases, divorce cases, restitution of conjugal rights cases, judicial separation, and also domestic violence cases. These cases used to file most of the women people. When we go to Mahila courts, we have to observe most of the women just 18 to 25 years also, they are attending the course. It is really very unfortunate, miserable situations. Reasons best known to them, they are going to file a cases against her husbands. Here in this, the matrimonial affairs day by day going down, and understandings between the wife and husband also seems to be very meager. After marriage, they used to get some quarrels and also enmity, exchange of hard words, and differing the mind setup, and filing the cases against each other. Whatever it may be, first, when you see the maintenance cases is concerned, generally the husband responsibility to look after the wife, that is the social obligation as per 144 BNSS Act. As per that act, the husband's bounded duty to provide food, clothing, shelter, medical expenses, all together, that is the husband's duty to provide to his wife. Suppose, in case of wife is very sound than the husband, she is having sufficient means to live, and also she is an earning person, getting more money, and the husband has no job, nothing else, is a riffraffer, he is also having a right to file a case of maintenance against her husband. Whether the husband or wife both is having social obligation to exchange each other in their lives. You might have seen one senior artist, Sarita, very familiar heroine case. Her husband filed a maintenance against Sarita. The court has given the maintenance for the husband of Sarita. Likewise, the husbands also entitled to file maintenance cases against his wives. But it is not up to the mark to file such cases. And also, old parents also having right to file maintenance cases against children. Those children is neglecting their parents, the parents would file before the court of family for their maintenance. And also, minor sons has to file the maintenance against parents for educational purpose, fees, books, clothes, pocket expenditure, for everything. The minor sons or minor daughters is having right to file maintenance cases. Likewise, other dependents, those who are in the family, getting the salaries or other incomes, whatever the income it is, they may come through some rents, some other sources, some business purpose, whatever it may be. The person who is having sufficient of means, getting sufficient means, they should pay to the maintenance to all the family members. That is the maintenance cases we have to watch in the family court. That is the family court observations by the AC Law College students. And also, in the family courts, there is a petitions under section 13 of Hindu Marriage Act. That is for divorce. So, section 13, either wife or husband may possible to file against his spouse. Several grounds are there for which. One is for adultery. Second is cruelty. Third is desertion for 2 years. Religious conversion, leprosy, communicational diseases, mental instability, and presumption of death. With all these grounds, the petition to be filed before the family court. You see, all the family court petitioners, they are very meager age also, 18 to 25. And middle-aged people, sometimes some old people like 60 years, 65, 17 years, couples also used to file for maintenance and for diverse reasons best known to them. They are mentioning the petitions. And also there is another provision in law, that is mutual divorce. That is section 13B. So the wife and husband together file a petition for divorce. Generally, the court will observe for 6 months and they dissolve their marriage as marriage under Hindu Marriage Act. That is section 13V. For which also same ground, adultery, cruelty, desertion, all these things will be affected. And also in India, there is a family laws for Hindus, the family laws for Christians, and the family laws for Muslims. It's a quite different way. Hindus is concerned, what are the grounds I mentioned, they would go for that and get the divorce from the honorable courts. Here, the Divorce in Christian Marriage Act, it is used to call as Indian Divorce Act 1869. In this also, due to recent amendments, previously it is not possible, and their Christian religious customs and ceremonies, one should marry, there is no question of any divorce previously, except adultery. Adultery by men or women, wife or husband, having illegal contact with another persons, that is the only ground. Recently it was amended, and now the Hindus who are getting the divorce, those grounds also applicable to the Christians. On the ground they used to get the divorce. Previously, very difficult to get divorce for Christian laws. It should be confirmed by the district judge and referred to High Court. High Court will confirm only, then only they will give the divorce. But it is very difficult task. That's why recently it is amended, like Hindu Marriage Act. And also, third religion is Muslims. Generally, as per the Muslims Act and their ceremonies and their religious customs, they used to do talak. Talak nama. Generally, this talak nama may be given by Haji Muslims. They used to be in the mosques. So, several Muslim elders sit together and discuss about the wife and husband and their problems. If it is not possible to live together as wife and husband, they will ask the wife to give the talaknama. When the wife proclaimed talak, 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 she will go this way. When the husband used to say talak, 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 he will go this way. There ends the matter. And also, they used to give some meher. So, at the time of marriage or something, the wife is entitled for meher at the time of talak. By the time the elders will decide. And also, sometimes this should be legalized. They should go to family court and the talaknama also to be legalized. One more thing. Suppose husband is not willing to give talaknama. Wife is interested to take talak from his husband. She is entitled to file a petition before the family court to get the talaknama against his husband. But husband used to file in the court is not possible. This is the family court is regularly doing their cases. The next thing is labor court. You see, the district labor court is functioning here for Industrial Disputes Act. In the Industrial Dispute Act, there is workmen and management. So, the workmen, that is labor, used to file a case against the management. The merits will be taken into consideration by the labor court judge. Here, there is this litigation will start from labor officer. Directly, they have no right to file the case before the labor court. First, they have to approach the labor officer. He will pursue the matter, and for conciliation together, he will settle the matter with his hands, which is possible. In case his hands are tightened immediately, he will approach Assistant Commissioner of Labor Court, ACL court. Assistant labor also, there is a court for which he is also trying with his level best to solve the matter between the workmen and the management. The workmen may be number of people. It should be with conciliation proceedings. That means with the discussion. Both the parties, you will decide this matter by ACL. If it is not possible and not decided, the parties won't oblige. Then they will go to district level labor court. That is called DCL court. District Commissioner of Labor. So that is every district DCL court is there. First labor officer, next ACL, next DCL. In case the matter is not decided, then you will go to labor court. That is the general procedure. But these heavy matters, lockdown, layoff, in such a matters, directly the labor court will deal with. If the persons are more, then the labor court will interfere. Everybody knows that the labor acts deals with PF, gratuity, death benefits, and work charge establishment. Whatever the dispute, the labor court will look into this matter, and they will give the judgments. And also, sometimes the management will suspend the worker. This also comes under the labor court. Dismissed from the service. It is also comes under the labor court. So, the dispute between the labor and management, in any aspect, the labor court will interfere and solve the problem. That is called labor court. That is also the presiding officer is district level judge. That's why the labor court, family court, and also there is another court, that is pocso cases. Nowadays, pocso cases also coming very frequently. That is minor girls below the age of 18 years. with force and violence, raped by, if they are majors or minor boy, it comes under pocso case. Though the minor girl willing, accepting for intercourse, penetration, that's also comes under pocso case. She is not supposed to be participate in any sexual intercourses. That's why, whatever the reason, it is the minor girl was with force and violence commit any offense against minors, particularly girls, the law is protecting. That is the pocso cases. Generally, this pocso case used to conduct in pocso court cases in camera. In camera means doors will close. The judge, court staff, computer operator, and also this only concerned lawyers. That also public prosecutor and defense lawyer, only one should be allowed to conduct the trials, because of a minor girl is unable to say so many things. What really happened? How she is force used by the accused, and is there any internal or external injuries? And also, while they are forcefully penetrating, is there any wounds? Is there any resistance of that girl? These are all taken into consideration. And also, if a girl is resisted the attempts of a man, automatically she sustains some injuries on the shoulders, or some thighs, or somewhere. So medical evidence also very most important to conduct the pocso cases. This is also very serious cases. Whatever the case it is, either three courts, generally the trials will be conducted by different courts. They used to take the evidence. First, the victims. Next is the circumstantial evidence, hearsay evidence, medical evidence, or the elders' evidence. Whatever the evidence is useful to decide that case, they will take the trials of all these three courts. That is, one is family court, two is labor court, third is pocso case. These three courts, our Andhra Christian law students, in their observations, today they are attending and observing the proceedings of the proceeding officers like judges, and they are preparing for the next course of education. That is end of this video.